Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tapua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Makanisi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Bula, my name is Tisa. I love listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, Queen Victoria school enrolments without principal's knowledge. Income generation for Ethel-K landowners secure. And dairy industry rehabilitation motion defeated in Parliament.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
A number of initiatives have been rolled out to maximize benefits of Ethel-K land use so landowners can realize the full value of their resources. Ethel-K Affairs Minister Vurenge Bainimarama says they want landowners to have increased direct benefits from the development of their land.
This particular motion.
Opposition MP Moses Bolitawa's motion for small and medium Matangali enterprises was defeated in Parliament today, with the government saying such initiatives already exist.
My government has also done more than any before to empower landowners and create opportunities for them to succeed, particularly in launching small and medium enterprises.
Ethel-K Affairs Minister Vurenge Bainimarama says they have created an enabling environment so that landowners can maximize on commercial opportunities.
We need TLTB policies that will generate opportunities to raise indigenous development to another level of innovation.
Right now, a Matangali member seeking a lease to launch a macro small enterprise on their Matangali land pays zero for their lease premium. And should they decide to sell off their business down the road, down the track, this premium can be recovered and paid back to the Matangali as lease income.
The Prime Minister says introducing new reforms will undermine the work that is already in progress.
TLTB needs to have innovative policies and programs for land use given Fiji continues to grow to make its presence felt in the world of tourism, agriculture and commerce.
There can be no question that the TLTB board, in partnership with my government, already takes the development of micro, small and medium enterprises for our landowners very seriously. To suggest that there is a need for greater effort and attention to be given in this area is to ignore the tremendous development already ongoing.
Bainimarama also highlighted that the very nature of programs highlighted by Bolitavu has constantly been labelled as a vote-buying tactic by the opposition.
A Landowners Affairs Board has also been set up to specifically assess the long-standing issues affecting the landowners' business and commercial interests. The board will also provide support services to landowners exploring new commercial activities. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
200 students were enrolled into Queen Victoria School in Thailevu without the knowledge of the principal. This was highlighted by Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy in Parliament today. Kelly Vavala reports.
200 enrollments at Queen Victoria School were done in secret by the school's ex-scholars.
The old boys network got connected with one of the staff there, photocopied the admission form and bypassed the principal and enrolled 200 more students there, Madam Speaker. This is what these people have been doing. That's why we need to keep them out of the campus.
Dr. Reddy said the QVS Old Boys Network should not be involved in the running of the school. With more than 1,000 students attending QVS, opposition MP Nikunawai Kula questioned how they are all being accommodated.
The Honourable Minister admits, he must admit, that there's still overcrowding here. And the structure, septic tank, all toilets, even the kitchen is still not fixed. Can you agree, therefore, that this is entirely in breach of OHH standards? The QVS has 12 dormitories, 12 dorms. These dormitories cater for students from both remote and rural areas. The 2 new dormitories has their own septic tank connection. If there's any specific issue, I would want to see where it's coming from.
Dr. Reddy confirmed to FBC News outside of Parliament that the 200 students have been re-enrolled into QVS using the proper processes. No further action has been taken and students continue their studies at the boarding school. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
A motion for a rehabilitation package for the dairy industry was defeated in Parliament today. However, during debate on Professor Biman Prasad's motion, Agriculture Minister Nieseru Ratu pointed out a number of initiatives that will be or have already been rolled out. Rachel Nath tells us more.
The government is adamant that the future of the dairy industry is bright.
We implore them, please don't clutch at straws. We may know that you may think that you have political woes facing you, but that does not give you the right to manipulate ordinary farmers. Don't go individually to a few cane farmers and get the signatures. The moment you're going to speak to them and you say, I'll improve this, of course they'll sign.
NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad, in bringing his motion, claimed the industry is failing.
We are producing only 12.5% of Fiji's total milk consumption, but Fiji Dairy Limited continues to be a healthy, profitable entity, and thanks to the 32% duty concession or zero duty it enjoys on the import of milk.
The Agriculture Ministry already has plans to improve dairy farming thanks to millions of dollars in aid from New Zealand.
They have given us a package of New Zealand $10 million to help the agriculture sector. And that $10 million, Madam Speaker, 70% of that $10 million is for dairy alone.
Seratu also confirmed new cattle stock is coming in from New Zealand, while Cabinet has approved partnering with the Israeli government on enhancing Fiji's dairy production. The motion for urgent rehabilitation was denied, with 27 votes against, 16 in favour and 7 MPs did not vote. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Meanwhile, words were exchanged between Attorney General Ayers Said Kayum and opposition MP Nikono Waikula today. Said Kayum interjected when the SUDELPA member made accusations regarding the sale of Fiji Dairy Limited to Southern Cross Limited.
You're a lawyer, you need to understand what you're saying, supposedly.
Understanding orders, I'm entitled to speak.
No.
I want to speak.
No.
Speak the truth.
Madam Speaker, speak the truth. Don't lie.
I have misinterpreted him. After I have spoken, Standing Order 81, then you can stand up. So please sit down. Formed by the company, formed by the government. And the problem is, they formed this company, 17 million, paid nothing. Paid nothing. 17 million was part of the equity.
Point of order.
Nothing.
Speaker, point of order. Again, he's factually incorrect. Withdraw it. Because, Madam Speaker, he said they had paid nothing.
Southern
Cross, Madam Speaker, again, if I can reiterate, please sit down. I have a point of order. Sit down.
Minister of Agriculture Nieseru Ratu clarified in Parliament today that while there are measures to support riverbank protection, it's a continuous challenge against the elements. He was responding to opposition leader Rote Mumukepa, who asked about the type of protection provided for villages in the lower reaches of the Rewa River Delta.
I'm saddened by the fact that this question is...
Minister Inyet Seruratu explains it's an uphill battle when it comes to safeguarding river communities.
We cannot fight nature. Only nature adjusts well. We have solutions, ecological solutions and technology-based engineering solutions. Unfortunately, in most of these instances, ecological solutions will never work.
Rotemumu Kepa questioned how the government decided on the type of assistance given to one village over another.
Now, if we had the seawall that they have at Kumi and Cuba, Madam Speaker, we wouldn't be asking for this particular assistance.
There is definitely a big difference between Cuba and Kumi and Nananu and Goma and Rewa villages, because that's seawall bank protection and rising sea level is a different issue.
Opposition MP Ratukinivileame Kileraki also questioned the effectiveness of buffer zones on riverbanks.
When you apply for agriculture lease, you also have a responsibility under the ALTA Act. Good husbandry practices, Madam Speaker.
Seruratu says there are currently several projects on riverbank protection that are ongoing around the country. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Still ahead, dog owner charged with negligence, and stigma prevents awareness on epilepsy.
हम लोगों मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मिर्ची है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तवरा में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Two Navua men were presented in the Suva Magistrates Court today facing charges over the death of a 12-year-old boy last Sunday. The deceased was riding his bike towards Navua town when he was chased by a dog. He swerved onto the road to avoid the animal and was hit by an oncoming vehicle. 66-year-old Ravi Chand is charged with dangerous driving occasioning death, and 33-year-old Shaimal Chand is charged with keeping a dog without a license and committing reckless or negligent act. Both men were granted bail today with sureties and a cash bail bond. They were ordered to report to the Navua police station monthly. The case will be called on the 19th of April in Navua. The Indonesian DL Marigold vessel was denied entry into the Fiji port due to the biosecurity risks it posed on the Fijian marine biodiversity. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum informed Parliament that Fiji had no obligation to allow the vessel entry into Fiji. Anna Ravulo reports.
Refuse entry of this.
Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum says it was necessary for the Biosecurity Authority of Fiji to stop the DL Marigold from entering Fiji waters.
The DL Marigold, Madam Speaker, is the first vessel which Fiji has refused entry due to biofouling. Besides from being a biosecurity risk, Madam Speaker, to the environment, biofouling can drastically reduce fuel efficiency, increase vessel output of carbon emissions, and compromise crew safety during transit.
Opposition MP Ratu Kinivilyame Kiliraki asked if Fiji is able to monitor and inspect such vessels.
We are fortunate that New Zealand was the first port of entry, and Fiji being the second, and we've been warned by New Zealand in regards to that vessel. What happens whether Fiji has the capacity if Fiji was the first port of entry for such vessels?
The capacity is there, and indeed, if they care to know about it, Madam Speaker, if they look at the laws that have changed, if they look at the capacity of BEF, it has enormously changed significantly for the betterment of all Fijians. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Biosecurity Authority of Fiji was told by New Zealand and through other channels about the aquatic, evasive and infestation status of the vessel. The rejection of entry was a coordinated approach by BEF and relevant stakeholders. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Engineering students from the Fiji National University are now required to complete 6 months work attachment with the Water Authority of Fiji before they can graduate. The step has been taken to fill a gap of 200 civil engineers, which WAF needs for planning and designing. Savaratumbo reports.
The Water Authority of Fiji now gets priority on students engineers from the Fiji National University.
Fields that we need the engineering acumen in. So that's why we're having this program, and hopefully, one day we'll get to our target. But like I said earlier, we are competing with other industries to grab these engineers out of university.
The Memorandum of Understanding between the WAF and FNU will also provide real-world experience for engineering students. The authority will try to engage at least 10 students engineers every year.
Get them experience, and hopefully they build their careers at Water Authority of Fiji. So that's been ongoing now, and hopefully in the next 2 years we would have had around 50 engineers who would have gone through that program. And we'd like to deploy them to the regions. We have good, qualified, experienced engineers working in Lambasa, in Savu-Savu, in Tavua, in Ba, and of course in the bigger cities and the centers.
The MOU also allows the authority to help design the engineering curriculum with Industry Advisory Committee already set up to ensure graduates are fit for employment.
More about exactly what form of attachments our students will get, how the students will be supervised while they're on attachment, training for the staff at WAF so that they understand the students have to complete work experience logbooks.
FNU Vice Chancellor Nigel Healy says engineering is no longer seen as a blue-collar manual profession since the entry of automation and technology. The university also wants more women to enroll for engineering studies. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The Health Ministry recorded 312 cases of tuberculosis last year and 26 deaths from the disease. While marking World TB Day today, National TB Control Officer Dr. Frank Underwood said the number of new cases dropped last year. Sanya Nimboila has more.
TB is a curable disease.
Speaking at Tumi Hospital in Tamabua, Dr. Underwood said for the first time, Fiji has recorded a decrease in the incidence rate of TB.
The incidence rate of TB in Fiji is now 51 cases per 100,000 people. And the year before that it was 68 cases per 100,000. Okay? So specifically, I would like to thank the contribution of the Global Fund Against AIDS, TB and Malaria, which Fiji has been fortunate to be part of since 2010.
Chief guest at the event, Wunde Queen Laisabulokoro, urged everyone to take care of their health and lift some of the burden from the healthcare system.
The health system is already strained with limited resources to look after a large population with lots of diseases. Is that enough? What can you as individual in a community do to assist the health system? We should stop living with the mentality that the nurses and doctors are getting paid to do that.
TB can be tested for and cured by completing the recommended course of treatment. World Health Organization report reveals that 10.4 million people were diagnosed with tuberculosis last year. 1.8 million people lost their lives due to this killer disease. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
There's an urgent need for people to talk about epilepsy and know how to aid a person who gets the attack. Consultant physician Dr. Shrish Acharya says there is a lack of knowledge about the disorder in Fiji. Shireen Shivan reports.
41-year-old Pramita Chand has been suffering from epilepsy since high school, a brain disorder which causes seizures. She has even hurt herself on a few occasions.
She was passing through near the stove where the pumpkin curry was being cooked, and I was outside talking to some carpenters, and she had the attack at the same time, and for some odd reason she grabbed this hot pot of curry and poured onto herself.
Epilepsy is a disorder where the brain cells do not function normally for a short while, mostly caused by trauma or an infection in the brain. Dr. Shirish Acharya says people should not place a spoon in the mouth of the patient during an attack.
It's actually risky to put a spoon or a wood or something into the mouth because you can break the teeth of the person who is actually having the convulsion. They can aspirate, so the teeth can go into the lungs and cause pneumonia.
Epilepsy is unpredictable and can happen anywhere. Therefore, Dr. Acharya is urging patients to get medical help instead of shying away because of stigma. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
Later on in sports, former Fiji Sevens rep William Ryder shows up at Marist Sevens. But for now, here's Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up in business tonight, Fiji's trade deficit dropped by 60 million in November. And in growing Fiji, Raki market upgrade begins next month. Stay with us.
I'm coming from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Girdler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Raki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune in to Today FM in Nasalai Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In business tonight, Fiji's trade figures have seen a drastic decrease compared to 2015. The Fiji Bureau of Statistics revealed that in 2016, total imports stood at 365.1 million, while exports totaled to 110 million. As per 2015, imports amounted to 353.7 million, with exports at 65.1 million. This is a trade deficit of 255.2 million. US President Donald Trump has generated some doubts about fulfilling his economic promises. Here's Elizabeth from HFC Bank to tell us more.
Yes, Rachel. Yesterday, Donald Trump failed to close a deal with Republican lawmakers on how to dismantle Obamacare. The vote was seen by financial markets as a crucial test of Trump's ability to work with Congress and deliver on his agenda. The setback on what was supposed to be his first legislative win made investors doubt whether Trump is able to deliver on other pro-growth policies like infrastructure spending and tax cuts. The result was after a delay, the U.S. markets edged lower. The Dow Jones closed down 4.72 points and the S&P 500 closed down 2.49 points. In Europe, equity markets gained as banks took up 233.5 billion euros in 4-year loans as the European central banks targeted longer-term refinancing operations. This was well above the 125 billion euros expected in a Reuters poll. That suggested banks are keen to stock up on cheap cash in anticipation of a continued rise in lending. Vinaka, and back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Elizabeth. On to today's exchange rates. The Chinese yuan and the American dollar weakened against our dollar, closing at 3.25 and 47 cents respectively. The Australian and New Zealand dollar closing at 61 and 66 cents, and the PNG Kina dropped to close at 1.33. Onto the commodities market, oil dropped, closing at 47.74 a barrel, and silver and gold prices followed suit, with gold closing at 1,247 an ounce and silver closed at 17.55 an ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, works on the new Raki market will begin next month. Local Government Minister Praveen Bala confirmed the project also has inputs from the UN Women. The market will take 12 months to complete at a cost of $5 million. Vendor space will double, with 307 stalls to accommodate space for women.
To promote the farmers and vendors of Raki community, and of course to support the national small and medium business policies, fees and charges will remain at the current rate. There will be no increase on the stall fees.
And that's it from business. Now to sports, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. In sports after the break, Gareth Baber keeping an eye on national reps at Marist Sevens. An experienced Fiji team named for FIFA qualifier. This and more coming up.
Warong na radio Fiji One.
Bulan arango fina wa korviri nandi au talitaka na warongo na radio Fiji One na programu ni masmasu na mataklailai.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai bunangoru na makete hinga toka kwe do talitakina na warongo na radio Fiji One gina na domo ibiti.
Na radio Fiji One na domo ibiti na bonga ni BNN.
It was an action-packed day one at the Fiji bit of Marist Sevens today, with the first round of eliminations still underway. Rohit Deo is at the NZ Stadium and joins us live now. Rohit, what's the latest?
Good evening, Jamie. Welcome to the ANZ Stadium, where we're entering the final stages of day one of the Fiji Bira Marist Sevens. Some surprise results in the first round of eliminations. We'll talk about that a bit later. With me right now is the Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach, Gareth Baber. Coach, thank you for your time. How have you seen the day so far?
Highly competitive. Obviously 64 teams all going at it. I knew it would be competitive, physical, and obviously I've had a good opportunity to see a lot of players from around Fiji, so it's been a good work day.
And you've released majority of your players from the extended squad to be part of the tournament here today. How did you see them feature?
Yes, good. I've obviously been around the numerous pitches and seen the players playing. As I said, the good competition level that's across it is good for our players that are in the squad presently and sort of putting their hands up for selection. But equally so, they know they're being chased by other players around Fiji, and that's the sort of competition levels that we wanted to promote all the time in the squad.
Thank you so much for your time and all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And going back to the elimination round 1 results earlier today, last year's finalist New Net Yasawa, which featured Pio Tuai, they came back from 12-0 down in the first half to beat Waimanu 17-12. In some other results, last year's winners Tamandamu Blue, they are through to the second round of elimination. They thumped side float Midland 43-0. Surprise result, Haidua Hurricanes, they were one of the pre-tournament favourites. They are out of the competition, going down to Police Blue, which featured Bandube Tambakau Zoro 10-5. So the second round of elimination starts here early tomorrow morning. Something to look out for. Jamie.
Thanks for that, Rohit. Now, players released from the national camp to be part of the Marist Sevens under the close radar of national mentor Gareth Baber. And apart from keeping tabs on his players, Baber is also on the lookout for potential players to rope into the national squad. Vashnil Prasad reports.
Out in the blistering sun, coach Gareth Baber keeping a close eye on the performance of national hopefuls.
The guys who are in the squad with me, I'm just learning about other players, and today and tomorrow really is about me building up that knowledge. Obviously there's players that have been released back from our squad to play. It's important that they get that game time.
Baber will also monitor experienced forwards Isake Kotonimbao and Pio Tuai before making any decision on bringing them back into the Fiji setup.
They tested with us earlier in the week and their fitness was fine, so we expect it to be the same here.
The chances of them going into the Hong Kong and Singapore?
Potentially, but I'll make those decisions later on.
Chasa Veremalua is one of the many players who is hoping for a return to the national team after missing out on the last 2 tournaments.
Those who were released to play for the various clubs, it's a good chance to fight back for their own position and be called back in camp next week.
The season campaigner says the new players will also boost the Sevens environment.
I guess the door is still open for many young talent to come on board.
Yeah, I can see how committed everybody is. There's obviously a great deal of passion shown.
With the abundance of talent showcased here on the day 1 of the competition, let's hope some players could impress coach Gareth Baber and make their way into the national team. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
12 years ago, the name William Ryder took the Marist Sevens by storm. Q 2017 and the twinkle-toed former national rep is back to try and rekindle his magic with Sevens rugby and just maybe earn a call-up for national duties. Vastil Prasad reports.
Once dubbed the next Waisale Serevi, his short-lived stardom is not stopping William Ryder from trying to find a bait to make the national team once more.
If they give me a chance, there's be a hope for me. I'm looking forward to represent Fiji again because that's what I've been known for, like playing sevens.
William Ryder again?
Sure, you can see.
Ryder is part of the Silverwater side in the Marist Sevens and is also playing a mentoring role.
And staying up there doing nothing, and you're just keeping your skills, everything. But now I'm just helping, trying to build up a better team for the future to come.
With the help of Ryder, Silverwater Rugby Club, which was formed last year, is looking forward to stamping its mark on the local arena.
As for the starters, it's all good, and so far so good. We've played 2 games, and we're so happy that we have William Ryder on our side and, helping the guys up in the field.
Despite his club not doing well, Ryder's future of donning the national jumper lives on and is in the hands of national coach Gareth Baber. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, fans did not disappoint on the first day of the Marist Sevens. Family members, club supporters and ardent Rugby Sevens followers all came out to support their respective teams. Vashnil Prasad has more.
Fans lit up the tournament on day 1, adding to excitement to the atmosphere. Hundreds of fans from almost every corner of Fiji watching their teams in action.
Naso Niroko is my brother. I came here to support him, and Talesimolu is playing for the Wunda Blues.
More than 500 players are part of the 2-day competition, and family members were out there as inspiration.
I'm from Nebudini. This is the first time I came to watch the Marist 7. My husband is representing the Rendisawu team, so I will support the Rendisawu team today.
It also provided an opportunity to watch national heroes Pio Tuai, Nemani Nangusa, Alifreti Vaitokani, and a few former players such as Setefano Thakau and Nasoni Roko.
I just came here to support the Rendisawu 7. For support my team for the Marist 7 and cheer for it. And I want to say a big value for the Marist 7.
Expect the turnout to increase when we enter into the final day of the competition tomorrow. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Vodafone Fiji football coach Christophe Gamel has named his team to face New Zealand in the FIFA World Cup Stage 3 qualifier tomorrow. The squad announced last night hopes to achieve a feat which no other Fijian team has been able to in the last 9 years, beat the All Whites. Rohit Deo has more.
The team that will carry Fiji's hopes against New Zealand tomorrow. Coach Christophe Gamel says the result is not the team's focus as long as the players do their best and enjoy the game.
Result is a result at the end. But the most important is the way that we will play. We will play this game. We will enjoy to play it.
Gamel adds there were some players who could have made the team but failed to follow ethical guidelines.
Some they should have come here. Behavior, discipline, other thing. We will fix them after. And we will fix the district. Everyone. If we don't go in one way, we can't succeed.
Wellington Phoenix striker Roy Krishna, who will captain the team, has high hopes.
Joined the team recently and I can see how hard our coach is regarding our off-ball movement and possession, which is really good.
Fiji has played New Zealand 28 times, winning only 5 games. The match kicks off at 1 p.m. at Lotakas Churchill Park. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Asaira native Evangeline Tale is looking forward to her first international event at the Fiji versus Queensland Amateur Boxing tomorrow. She becomes the first Fijian female to referee at an international meet. The 26-year-old says her sacrifices are paying off.
I'm also glad that I could be an inspiration to other females out there who could actually step up and take up the same, being a referee and judge as well, or either being a boxer as well.
17-year-old Eileen Vikamatana clean and jerked an incredible 136 kilograms to establish a new Oceania Junior, Oceania Senior, Commonwealth Junior and Commonwealth Senior record in the 90-kilogram category at last week's Australian Internationals. And to our play of the day, the South Sydney Rabbitohs were left to endure their 20-6 defeat against arch-rivals, the Sydney Roosters, after captain Sam Burgess was ruled out of the second half with a failed concussion test in the NRL last night. Burgess stayed down momentarily after his head collided with a rampaging Isaac Liu's shoulder while trying to make a tackle on the opposing middle forward 4 minutes before halftime. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with your weather update. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, elephants stealing mangoes from farms in Thailand. Details coming up.
Warong na Radio Free One.
Bulan evango fina wa korviri nandi au talitaka na warongo na Radio Free One na programa ni mas masu na mataklailai.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai bunangoru na makete hinga toka kwe do talitakini na warongo na Radio Free One gena na domoi viti.
Na Radio Fiji One na domoi viti na vonga ni BNN.
Facebook users have been able to stream live video via their smartphones or other mobile devices for almost a year. Now the social network Power is bringing that Facebook Live capability to desktop computers. And we join Angie now with the very latest in weather.
Hello to you and to Friday. The day we all look forward to has arrived. And have you noticed even the sun shines brighter on Fridays? Well, that if it's sunny. Also, there is always so much good energy around when weekends are near. And don't we just love the vibe? And speaking of vibes, let's check out the day in the west. Sunshine sticked around for a bit with bar heating 31 degrees. Chances of showers still remain high for tonight. Eastwards from Pack Harbour to Suva, it was a beautiful day with clear skies apart from few morning showers. And looking at Vanuatu, showers gradually turned to cloudy periods. Lambasa was warm at 32 degrees. At sea, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for those that plan for fishing tonight, the next low tide is at 10:09 with a high tide at 4:24.
Sunrise is sure beautiful, and if you wish to see it, note the time, it will be at 6:11. For tomorrow, rain is in the forecast for most parts of the nation. However, it is expected to clear by nightfall. So, if you're going to watch Marist Sevens, ensure to take your umbrellas along. You might just need them. Tomorrow's temps, most centers will be cool in the high 20s. And looking further on to Sunday, it looks like a good day for picnic, though there will be few showers, but it shouldn't dampen your spirit. And that, Jackie, is FPC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji Pulse today, we ask, how can we get more people to recycle?
Start from small thing, you just pick up the small pieces of rubbish.
Proper waste management starts from home.
We have to start from the primary schools, educating our children, our brothers, our sisters.
Recapping the main stories, 200 QVS enrollments done without principals' knowledge, TLTB incentives to grow landowners' income, and dog owner charged with negligence. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should fake profiles be allowed on social media? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, tonight's shot of the day. A cruise liner sailing through the Malolo Group in the Mamanuthas as the sun sets across calm seas. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. Until next time, from the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
कमल रोशनी है, हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तापुआ में रहता है, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.